South India's #1 travel brand. You know you are special when you're with GT Holidays.
MCR Pure Cotton Club, formals and casual shirts. Supreme Mobiles in Samsung Days, 24-month, no cost EMI, up to 12,000 upgrade offer.
Hello and welcome to Galatta Plus. In this video review episode, we're going to be talking about Ram Jagadeesh's quote, State versus a Nobody. The film is a thunderous melodrama that starts weakly and then becomes increasingly powerful. The story is about the misuse of the legal system, and it works because of the love story at the center and the sturdy nature of the courtroom drama. The rest of this review may contain spoilers. The crux of Ram Jagadeesh's debut feature, quote, State versus a Nobody, revolves around a young man who's charged under the act we now know as POCSO, or Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences. The young man's name is Chandu and he's played by Harsh Roshan. He makes a living with a bunch of odd jobs, with his watchman father screaming at him for not studying further and aiming higher in life. Chandu falls for Jabali, Sridevi, who comes from a well-off family lauded over by a powerful uncle named Mangapati, played by Shivaji. When Mangapati finds out about Chandu and Jabali, he wastes no time in getting the young man arrested because Jabali is just under 18. In other words, though we seem to be watching a courtroom drama with all the fiery theatrics of the genre, the story underneath is one that's very familiar to us. A rich girl falls for a poor boy and the villain tries to tear them apart. The film has two narrative threads. First, we get the love story between Chandu and Jabali with the lawyer protagonist in the background. Now, this lawyer protagonist's name is Teja and he's played by Priyadarshi. Then, Teja's story takes over, that is, his attempts to save Chandu, and the love story slips into the background. Of these two narratives, the love story wins. Harsh Roshan and Sridevi are wonderfully fresh-faced and raw. They don't have to act, they just have to be. It's like watching two youngsters come of age in front of a camera. Chandu and Jabali don't meet for a long time. That is, they flirt over the phone conversations, and when he finally realizes that he is in her presence, that he knows what she looks like, his happiness spills over the screen and you smile for him. And later, when they finally embrace, the moment is slowly amped up and you know that a song is coming. And when the song Premalo comes, it's lovely, both as a composition and as a reminder that the rhythms of mainstream cinema are timeless. On the other hand, we have Teja, who works for a boss who won't let him take on a case just yet. This is the weaker narrative thread because everything is voiced via dialogue. We don't feel Teja's frustration, we are told about it. We aren't allowed to gradually realize what a brilliant lawyer Teja's boss is. We are instantly told about it. When Teja faces the prosecution lawyer played by Harshavardhan, we see right away that the man is a snake. He is given lines that express every single emotion along with reaction shots that just about stop short of him twirling a big mustache, and that is only because he's clean shaven. Melodrama is a legitimate style/genre, but court hammers away at you so hard, supported by Vijay Bulganen's thunderous score, that the villains began to resemble caricatures after a point. As Mangapati, Shivaji gives a solid performance in tune with the film's tonality, but by reducing him to pure evil right from his first scene, the character stands little chance of becoming human. He shouts at a little girl in the family who's wearing a sleeveless frock. He's that kind of man, but why does this man wield so much power over Jabali's family after her father's death? Is his influence over the small town, including the cops, a result of his richness? Or is there something more? A little definition would have helped shape the character. Yes, you could argue that he is the villain, and that is all you need to know. But even bad men can have a few shades that go beyond the badness. And so, apart from the love story, everything in the first half of Court is very one note and very, very loud. This is the kind of film that cuts between Chandu having food in jail with his mother at home unable to eat because she can't digest her son's plight. The second half, however, is much stronger. I still wish for a few asides, say a conversation between Chandu's mother and father, but the film is saved by the sturdy nature of the courtroom drama. The lying witnesses, the shocking video evidence, the doctor who is bribed, the big mystery of what really makes this case stand. All of this is written a tad too conveniently, but the scenes still work. I think the success of Court will depend on whether you buy the big mystery that is unpacked for us at the very end. I think one set of viewers will go, after all that build up, this is what really happened? That's it. The other set is going to find it super charming, super unexpected, super romantic, and exactly what a certain kind of old-fashioned love is all about. I found myself in the latter category. Like in the first half, the Chandu Jabali scenes work very well, and more so because we are made to wait for them because the second half belongs mostly to Teja and Priyadarshi nails his big moments perfectly. I also like the judge who seems to sense that something fishy is going on. I love the fact that the photo Chandu takes with him when he's jailed is not of Jabali but his mother. That is the touch. That is the kind of touch the film needed more of. We get another important mother figure played by a very effective Rohini. When she learns that her daughter was in a room with a boy, she instantly assumes they had sex. Teja gives a big speech about how acts like Poxo are misused and his points are well taken, but there is a bigger message in the Rohini character's assumptions about sex. It says a lot about our society, and the fact that this point is brought across without explicit dialogues makes it even sweeter. I would have liked the film to have a little more of this restraint, but there's no denying that despite its shortcomings, Court is a powerful audience pleaser. And that's it about Court. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galatta Plus and see you soon at the movies.
South India's #1 travel brand. You know you are special when you're with GT Holidays.
MCR Pure Cotton Club, formals and casual shirts. Supreme Mobiles in Samsung Days, 24-month, no cost EMI, up to 12,000 upgrade offer.